Well, it's March 1918. Guess what time it is? It's time for, well, let's see. And weather, let's just see what the weather is going to be like. 9. We have mud and snow. Okay, that's going to slow things down. This is the first time we've had snow all this wintertime. Okay, we got that. And now we got to do National Morale Time. All right. Now, some interesting things have popped up. You look over here. March 1918, +1 to the dice roll modifier for the Central Power countries. Yay. This will increase to +2 in September. So, Germany, Italy, and Austria have a +1 to their die just for that. Now, the other thing we have to worry about is we got a +1 for 15 months in the war, and plus, like Austria has another +2s for their low morale effects that they've had over the time. Okay, so let's do Germany first. Germany just has the +1, +2. So they are sitting at +2. +1 for 15 months and +2 for its March 1918. And they roll a 5, so that is a 7. 7 or less, no effect. So Germany is fine. Now, Austria. +1 for March 1915, +2 for 15 months in the war. +4 for their low morale, +6 for 2 cities they don't have. This could get bad. Oh, that's not good. A 10. 10 + 6 is 16. Well, we just had the Austro-Hungarians have just surrendered. Rule 2135. Okay. 2135. Sue for peace. Country is considered conquered. Yay. Alright. So, I have to go through and remove all the Austrian units in the game. Alright. Italy is a Central Power turn, so they have a +2 to their die roll. And 9. A 9 + 2 is 11. Low morale. Since they just seen their buddies give up the war, I guess they're not too happy they joined the wrong side. So they have a low morale. So they cannot attack. And it's like a low morale. Result is low morale. Units may not attack. Attacker receives a +1 to the dice roll modifier when attacking units with low morale. Add +1 to future morale rolls. Yay. Okay, that's not good. Next. Okay, no Ottomans, no Bulgarians, France. All right, Britain. Britain. The Brits have +1 for 15 months in the war. Submarine warfare is in effect. That's a +2. U.S. is in the war is a -1, so that's a +1 to the die roll. Then you roll a 6, so a 6 + 1 is 7, no effect. Alright, Russia. I rolled an 8 for Russia. Russia has 1 + 1. They lost the cities, +2, -1 for, so that's a 9. 9 is reduced by 20%. So they have 20% loss. So right now, 15, so 20, that's 3. So they lose 3. So they're down to 12. All right. And we got Greece and Romania. Greece rolled a 7. +1 is an 8. So they reduced, but that's no big deal. They're not even in war, really. They've returned home already. Romania is a 7. All right, so that's no effect for them. All right, so the only thing that happened was the Austrians are now out of the war, and the Italians are demoralized. Yeah. Okay. We'll just have to go with that and begin our next turn. All right. We'll be back. So it's March 1918. Eastern Front. Not much changed. Other than the Germans moved some more troops in, started blocking the roads or rail lines down here. It's one of those circumstances where they can build about 3 units, maybe 4, depending on what they have available. They're down to 18 replacement points, I think, at this point. And that's the biggest problem they have is that it's like they're on a 3-front war right now. They got here, there, and way over there. They don't have the manpower really to just go on the offensive. If they lose anybody, that makes it really hard to defend. And right now they're having to form either shorten the lines, and right now they're in Russia up here. This is Prussia, this area right here of Germany, and so they're just outside of it, and then they're in what's nowadays Poland and that area, but they're forming a line. Now they have to take up the banner of where the Austrians were because they surrendered, so that leaves a big hole because the Austrians were sort of holding this area themselves, and they were holding some of the area over here, and the end result is now they got to shoulder it. And the Italians are doing the best they can because, that's how far they can basically go. So they're going to defend their mountainous areas. That was Austria. And now this whole area. Now, the good thing is, in one way, is that the Germans can sort of fall back because all this area right here, it no longer matters to them until it gets to Germany. So, but if you could fight in someone else's territory before you can get to Germany, that's better. You can prolong this out and maybe pull out. This is like a Pyrrhic victory right now for them. And they had a great victory. They took out France, but Russia stayed in the war along with Britain. And it's like the ebb and flow of everything. Now, the one interesting thing is I did get some clarification on things. I've been asking this question for a long time, but I finally got some official clarification. All right. These cities right here, since they used to belong to France, can now be, and they were recaptured. The Americans are going to have 5 minor cities for supply. That adds up to 15. More than enough to supply the entire American army over here. That frees up the Brits to be able to move all their troops over there. That's going to be even a bigger problem for the Germans. So they right now determined the Germans are not going to be attacking anywhere, I don't think. So now they could attack right here, but that's not really good. It's like there's some 4.63s in there. For the facing off, but when you have mostly 4.64s, their entire army now is nothing but 4.64s mostly. They have some 5s out there here and scattered out, but a lot of that had to be pulled out and changed out for 4.6s, 4.63s. So now their army isn't all that great now. So when you go on the offensive and you can't really hurt anybody, if you do, it's odds are you're probably going to get exchanges, and that's just as bad. When you get an exchange, you're on the losing end of it, because they only lose what their defense factor, you're losing what your attack factor, so you got to lose more in the exchange, so that hurts. All right, so that is the Central Powers and what's going on right now, and we'll just have to see what the Allies do. And if they're going to start using the supply routes and all that fun stuff. All right, we'll be back. March 1918, Eastern Front, Allies. And you can see the Russians dug in right here. And over here, they seen the opportunity where the whole area collapsed, and some Russian units have marched in, and they hit the, well, I guess it was here. The Germans had some reinforcements parked here. They had like a 4.64 and a 5.7, and they hit them. And there was an exchange with one, and a attack. What was it? Half exchange. That's it. It's like half, and took him out. So the area is now kind of open down this route right there, but not really a big problem at the moment. But that was the full extent of what everything had happened on the Eastern Front. Over here, the British attacked here. They're continuing the offensive, going down this rail line right here, heading towards Vienna. They did have a successful attack here, and the German unit, one unit was eliminated, the other one was defender demoralized, and they fell back to here. Having the river system right there was a big help for keeping the odds down, but still they did lose that battle locally. The British didn't lose any troops, but did have them kick out that direction. And the British troops are working away the line, trying to find where the corner is. They're marching away. And the Cav went down that route, and about one more hex, and they'll have completely linked up down that route of the rail line. So getting all your lines open for supply, that's always a good idea. And that's pretty much it when it happened there. Now over here, the British Navy launched a whole bunch of, it's like you see all the new troops right here. They were in Britain, were shipped over, and then they're marching on, got their marching orders. There was one attack right here. The Americans went through here and attacked. They did have one half exchange in the battle, and they lost a unit. So it was a 4.63 that got wiped out. So half of that was 3, but they got attack strength of 5. So you still lose a 5.74. In that attack, and now it looks like they have the corner now around Paris, unless the Germans can get some units railed in here to protect their flank. So right now it's either maintain this line or fall back to their fort system that's still intact. They still have their fort system, but they don't really have the troops available right now to do that. So, but they do have the capability of pulling back, and it's not conducive. In a way, they can keep all these units in here because they're forced to garrison. That's the one thing that the Germans do have to do, is garrison all these French cities that they had captured. But if you vacate them, then you start losing replacement points. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. So they're forced to maintain those and make the Americans come to them if necessary. All right, that's it.